in store for him in the next couple of years. Next sophomore is Andy Jones. I don't know, and I would have to probably ask their mom and dad, but I bet when Andy and Sarah get into it at home, it is a battle, because both of them go 100 miles an hour, and both of them want to be right every single time, and they're going to battle till blood is shed. And he does the same thing out there. It doesn't matter infield, outfield. He does a great job. He improved greatly from last year, and once again, the future is very, very bright for Mr. Jones. Next sophomore, Mr. Connor Smith. Did a great job this year working in left field, outfield spot, running balls down. He probably expected one of his teammates yesterday to tell him that the wall was there, because he ran full speed straight into a wall that was about 15 foot high with steel beams behind it. But he was definitely trying to get to the ball. And you can't ask any more of a young man to give everything he's got all the time. Connor gives it all the time. The next one is Mr. Clay Moss. He came in last year. I didn't know him. He came from Lone Star. He came in as a freshman. And if you look at him now, he's twice as big as he was last year. And that's a good thing. Last year I was like, okay. He said he's played a little bit of baseball. That's fine. I'll take him. We'll work with him. We'll find a diamond in the rough. And guess what? We did. He came in to pitch this year. And I got to tell one story when we were at Preston. The other team, if you've ever been to a baseball game, and our team's the exact same way, they talk trash to the other team so much. They rag on the other team so much. Wallace came in to pitch. The other team was yelling at him, throw your fastball, throw your fastball. And nonchalantly, he just dropped the ball back to the catcher and says, that is my fastball. Proceeded to the next three guys to get up there and he struck them out. Because his nickname's the Professor, because he can dissect anybody and he can take them to school every time. And he's a great addition to our team, and I love having him here. He's a great kid, does everything right most of the time. And the next 2 years, I expect great things from Clay Moss. He has one of those natural abilities. You hear people talking about 4 and 5 tool players, he has it. And if he sets his mind to it, he's going to achieve it. He can run down balls in the outfield, he can throw people out, he can hit home runs, he can steal bases. He wants, they don't have the opportunity, they want to coach those guys. And I want to coach those guys every single day, and there's guys all the way throughout this group. And he's one of the ones at the top of the list. He has the ability. It's just if he puts it to it. Once again, he's a sophomore. He's just now getting his driver's license. That's what I said about this team. Other teams would ask us, you got an old team? I said, no, we got a young team. We've got about 2 kids on our team that even have a driver's license. So there's a lot of bicycles sitting out in front of the building. These guys they do great things. The next one, Mr. Cadence Billingsley. He's a great kid. Great kid. He has a great heart. Sometimes I want him to be a little meaner. That'll come with time. Once again, he's still only 14, 15. He'll be 16, June the 6th. I know when his birthday is. It's going to last me all the time. And he's a kid that he has one of those deals, kind of like he has a golden arm. And I know it's not sound real good, JD, don't worry. That's how you look at it, like, oh my gosh, that's a golden arm 24 here. Okay. As a sophomore, he's touching 85, 86, 87. When he gets with me in the off season this year, we're touching 90, 91. That's what I'm hoping for, our kids. And it's one of those deals that the ability that he has, there's not very many people that have it. You don't see it that often. And once again, he's only a sophomore, and there's great, great things for him. There's college. Like I say every day, my job is to find these guys a place to play after high school. No matter what it is, I don't care if they pay for boats. If I have to drive them there, I'll drive them there, I don't care. Those guys need to find a place to play, and that's what we do, and he has the ability to go play somewhere in the next 2 years. And that's what we're going to get to. Gaines Billingsley. Cole Harris. He takes more butt tunes from me than anybody, I can guarantee you. And I don't know, I've known him for a long time, and I can see myself when I play in him. Not everything, but just some things. We're still working on it. He was our leadoff all year long, and yes, that is his nickname, table setter. Anybody has to know what that means, then ask Colton, because he can tell you. He's a great kid. His baseball IQ is one of the highest ones I've seen. He understands the game. He can play infield, he can play outfield, he can catch. We really didn't know that until a couple weeks ago, but he done a heck of a job. Heck of a job. He's turning into a pitcher. And a pretty good one with a little bit of work. He's going to be a good one. These guys, they work really hard as sophomores. They work hard because they know that they have to be successful when you play juniors and seniors, and they do a good job. This is the sophomore class. Okay, and all my juniors come up here. As you can see, there's nobody getting up because we had no juniors on the team. So that tells you we're really, really young. My seniors can come up here, please. These guys have worked really, really hard to get where they need to be. And I can't say in the 4 years that I've been here, 4 years, 16 years that I've been here, these guys are 4-time district champions. In their 4 years of high school, they won district championship every year, and they've been a part of it. Is Grady Franks. I think next year after graduation, he's going to Ardmore to do an internship at a church because he wants to grow up and be a pastor, and he's a great kid. If you ever need anything, he's one of the first ones to call because he will be there to help you out. And I appreciate everything that Grady's given us, the time that he's been here. He came from Lone Grove when he was a freshman or sophomore when he came, and he's done a great job. He came to us as a sophomore from Glenpool. He played as a sophomore. I was hoping he'd come out as a junior. He decided to stay in the gym a little bit, which is perfectly fine because next year he's going to be going to Missouri Southern to attend and play basketball there. And so he done a great job with us this year, came back and played baseball, and I really appreciate everything he's done and brought to this team because he is a great young man, and there's great things ahead of him. College degree, moving on, owning his own business. Whatever life holds for him, he's gonna be a great citizen because he's a great kid from a great family, and I appreciate everything, Jake, you've done for us. Thank you. time. And from then to now, it's a totally different player for the good, because he is a great player. He's worked his tail off the last 4 years to get where he wants and needs to be, and I appreciate everything he's brought to us. He played second base, he played third base, he played outfield, he batted 2-hole, whatever we asked him to do. He pitched a little bit. That guy, he'll do whatever you need from him, and he's one of the ones that helped make this machine go. And I appreciate everything you've done, Frank. Thank you. Last senior, I've known him ever since he was born, pretty much. I remember sitting, and we talked about this in the building when he was 3 and 4 years old, and one of his sisters is sitting up here. And I remember when they played basketball, and he sat in the bleachers, and he was about 3 or 4 years old, and he was yelling at the referees. And I was like, when that kid gets in high school, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? And from then to now, he has grown into a great young man. And he's going to be a great man, and he's going on to college to play football at NEO next year. And just baseball strides, has, from every year, he's gotten better. To when he got thrown into the fire as a sophomore, to where he is now. He turned out to be a great leader for this team, with not very many upperclassmen, a great leader. Sometimes they liked it, sometimes they didn't like what he had to say, but that's what great leaders do. They're not the most popular people, but they're the ones that people follow. And that's exactly what they did with him, and I know he's going to do great things moving on to college, and he probably own his own business one day, take over Windows. No, he already told me he's going to leave that to his sister. So, but I appreciate these guys and everything that they've done. There was 2 guys that made all conference, which I can't say that tonight. I can't, because we can't release that information until after the state tournament, which is this Thursday through Saturday. So they will receive their medals next week. Once again, thank you, parents. Thank you, Booster Club, for everything that you've done. Our baseball banquet, Booster Club banquet, is tomorrow night. If you want to come out, even more than it's at Freddy's Steakhouse, come on out. Once again, you got to pay for your own, so make sure you go. We're ready to do that, but you're welcome to come. These guys will be there tomorrow night, and I thank you, parents, for allowing us to coach your kids. Thank you.
I'm going to go ahead and hand out the scholar awards. So we're going to start with the Scholar Trainer Award. The Scholar Athlete Award and the Scholar Trainer Award, we started this 5 or 6 years ago. And it was an award created to recognize our students that excel in the classroom and in athletics. We have many student athletes and student trainers that do an outstanding job. The criteria to be eligible to win the award is to participate in athletics. You must have a minimum score of 21 on the ACT test. You must have a minimum GPA of 3.5 on the weighted scale. And you must be a good citizen. You also have to be a senior. That eliminate a few people good citizenship. We have 2 sponsors for these awards. American Heritage Bank, who's been with us from the very beginning. Thank you, Kim Crawl, for supporting this award from the very beginning. The American Heritage Bank donates $1,000 for the Scholar Trainers. So our female and male winner, these will receive a $500 check tonight. And then Bristol Tag Agency has been our sponsor from the beginning. And Bristol Tag Agency, owned by Ellen Poya, donates $500 for the Scholar Trainer. We'll start with the Scholar Trainer Award. The winner of the Scholar Trainer Award was a trainer for boys basketball. She had a GPA of 4.3. She had a 21 for the ACT test. She plans on attending NSU. We'll go ahead and do this. It's Mason Evans. Okay, so this is Keith Crawl from American Heritage Bank, and Ms. Crawl will present the award to the Scholar Athlete winner. The female Scholar Athlete winner played fast pitch and slow pitch. She had a GPA of 4.83. She had a 29 on her ACT. She plans on attending LSU. It's not too late to change.
Homer.
The winner is Madison Nixon. The male Scholar Athlete winner played football, track, powerlifting, had a GPA of 3.77 on the weighted scale, scored a 21 on his ACT, plans on attending Tulsa Community College. The winner is Kellyville. We're going to make our senior presentations. All our seniors will receive a blanket. Before we do that, we're going to do slow pitch softball. You didn't wear your bridge.
All right, for you all that don't know, I'm Coach Taylor's coach of the slow pitch softball team. My assistant, Taylor Todd. This is the first year we had Taylor with us. A great acquisition for us. She did a superb job. She really likes field work. It's her favorite. She tells me every time we work, she loves it. She doesn't like driving things, especially things that she doesn't know how to drive, how to do this, how to do that. But she figured it all out. And honestly, a lot of our success was due to her. I really appreciated her out there, the help that she did. I've got a lot of thank yous. Mr. Pierce, Mr. Wood, Mr. O'Shaw, Mr. Fitz, Miss Molly. They have to arrange our schedules, move things around. We're gone quite a bit. It's not always an easy thing, especially when I'm in two different buildings. Coach Todd teaches math, which of course is always a major subject, and so we really appreciate everything that you guys do for us. Miss Erin, Miss Sherry, and Miss Darla, which we all know really they're the ones that really run the school. We just want to tell administration that because they do. They're the ones that are truly trying to find somebody to fill the spots when we're not there. My booster club, which most of the time comes down to Miss Weeks and Miss Evans doing most everything for us. They do. I mean, they're always there anytime I call, anytime we need it. There's so many other people that have pitched in here and there to help when needed. And there's no way that we can ever tell everybody how much we appreciate everything we do. Parents, friends, family, it's been a pretty fun ride this year. It's been kind of cool. Slow pitch softball has not always been the most followed sport. And it was pretty cool this year. We had a great crowd every game. It was unbelievable at the state tournament. My wife, who's not here tonight, unfortunately, she has to work. She lets me do this, and I appreciate her. I just have to say this one thing real quick. It's kind of funny because, with slow pitch softball, most generally you'll hear from most fast pitch coaches, whether it be competitive or high school or whatever, how slow pitch is stupid. There's no point in it. We don't need it. It interferes, this, that, whatever it may be. But I'm just going to tell you, last night, at the moment the third out was made and the game was over, I'm going to let you know this right then and there, it was the greatest sport on the history of all time. About being a kid in a candy store. Well, I'm just going to tell you, I waited 30 years for this. You want to talk about being excited? I talked to my girls and I told them, I said, now listen, when we get there, if, I emphasize if, because once you get there, it's the eight best teams in the state. If we win that first game, let's act like we've been there before, okay? I said, no dog piling, no going crazy. Let's just act like we've been there. Okay, coach. So we get there, we win the first game. I jump up off my bucket, here comes one. Okay, well, they're in it. So I'm thinking, all right, we get to the second game. Same deal. We make that final out. I jump up off my bucket, I look at, here they come, just trotting in. Okay, this is a real deal. Then we get to the third game. I do believe if you look just directly behind the pitching rubber on field 4 at Shawnee Fire Lake Ball Field, there is a full body impression of Wiggles. And I do believe she had a 17th degree concussion. Not sure, but somehow, some way, one of our smaller people on the team ended up on the bottom of the dog pile. So we definitely had not been there before, and they let everybody know that we had not been there before. That was kind of cool. I want to kind of tell you a little bit about what this team did this year. Well, actually, this is more about where we started 4 years ago. We won this conference title since I've been here. We won 4 district titles, 1 regional runner-up title, 1 regional championship, and 1 state title. That's the accomplishments that this group has had. Just a little bit about what they were able to do this year to their opponents. We were ranked number 2 the majority of the year, which I'm sorry was a very major slap in the face to our kids, and it was the best slap in the face ever because they really got mad. And they took care of business. We beat the number 1 team in the state. That didn't change anything. There's people that manipulate rankings to help themselves out. We went 31-4. It's the most wins in either fast pitch or softball in school history. We hit 254 home runs. It is the second most home runs that have been hit in a single season in slow pitch state history, according to somebody that says he knows. And that's not me, just saying. We've won 95 games over the last 4 years, and I'm just going to tell you, my very first year here, we really sucked. We weren't good at all. We just barely won any games. I think we won 12 or 13, something like that. And I pretty much came to the conclusion that there was absolutely no way in the world that we were ever going to be able to hit a slow pitch softball out of the infield. What was I wrong? This season alone, we outscored our opponents 554 to 211. In conference play this year, we outscored our opponents 110 to 16. In the district tournament, we outscored our opponents 51 to nothing. In our regional tournament, we outscored our opponents 42 to 21. And in the state tournament, where the best of the best is, nobody else can best us. We outscored our opponents 56 to 15. We run ruled all three teams, and I'm just going to tell you, the interesting thing about that was, we not only won all three games, we not only run ruled all three teams, we did it as the visitor. I didn't win a toss. I was terrible. Didn't win a toss, won. We were visitors every time. And you know, there's little things as a coach when certain things that you bank on. We get into the finals, we've already beaten Talcoa twice. But I'm just going to tell you, they're a very good team. And in slow pitch, on any given day, actually on any given inning, the game can change. So I come walking off, and what I do, first thing I see is my daughter staring right at me. And then she comes out, hits the ball, and starts the game off, and then everybody else just follows right behind. And it's like, we'll just be visitors forever. We'll never play home again. We'll be visitors at home. It's all good. We had 4 losses this year. We lost to at the time, the #1 team ranked in the state at 6A by 1 run. We lost to the team at the time, the #2 ranked team in 5-6A by 8 runs. Then we lost to, I don't know, I think something should have been checked about this team because I think maybe they would lose, but I'm not sure. They were the #2 ranked team in the state at the time. There was some kind of penalty they had to pay because they tore too many softballs in half and knocked too many into the creek. So they kind of put a beat down on us. I can tell you this right now, the most important game that we played all season. We played the #7 ranked team in the state from just down the road, played it in our house, and we were terrible. It was the worst game we played all season. We couldn't hit, we couldn't catch, we couldn't run. I'm not sure that we were real good about finding our dugout. But that moment right then and right there is probably what made us finish the way we did. We didn't lose. They bought in right then, right now. This is what we have to do. And I'll tell you right now, it was just as much my fault as it was theirs. I had to make changes too. But it was, it was a big telltale. About a week later, we turned around and played the same team on their field and run the exact same team. That's the type of kids they were. Probably my favorite moment all season. 4 years we've never beaten Craig in slow pitch softball. And it just is miserable to not beat Craig in slow pitch softball. We played Craig over in the Chandler tournament, and it's a good game. It's a really good game. It's 19 to 12. Girl hits a 2-run home run. She comes trotting into home plate, and amazingly enough, I did not know they had gymnastics at Craig, but she does a perfect cartwheel right on the home plate. Oh my, this was not good. Because at that moment, I saw something come out of our girls that I'm not at liberty to say here, it would be inappropriate. But the game was over. It went from 19 to 14 to 31 to 14, just like that. And then we scored 2 more just for extras. That's the way they work. Henrietta made an incredible journey across land and sea to get here to inform us that we were overrated. Yes, we were. We really were really overrated. It lasted the whole 3 innings, and they got to go back over land and sea to go home after they got spanked. This year we played, out of our 35 games that we played, 25 times we played a ranked opponent. In those 25 games, we were 21 and 25. You know, when they looked at our schedule this year, what? We won 21 out of 25, excuse me. Okay, teacher. The thing about my kids, they looked at our schedule at the beginning of the season, and I'm pretty sure they all thought I'd lost my mind. It's without a doubt the toughest schedule we've ever had. But every day I just kept telling them, you know, it's not today that's important. We're looking towards May 1st. Little did we know it wasn't going to happen on May 1st, but that's what we were looking for. And every day they stepped up. Every day they met the challenge. Every day they fought back. There were multiple games that we were down, the run rolled away. You know, we got to do something. We came back. We won the ball game. Awards just this year. We got to get a conference MVP, a defensive player of the year, 3 all-conference players, 3 honorable mention all-conference players, 1 academic all-state, 5 all-life players, district player of the year, conference coach of the year, district coach of the year. Before I bring our players up here, there's 3 people that I'd like to come up right now. Mr. Pierce, Mr. Wood, and Mr. Upshaw, if you can come up here, please. Good girl. Okay, I'm just going to tell you right now, I've been in this business for a long time, and Mr. Pierce, come on up, please. Without a good administration, you don't have anything. And this is where my team starts, right here. Every day, every evening, and I wanted to present them with a state championship team medal. Just real quick, I'm going to run down this, then we'll bring the players up. Home runs this year. Madison Neighbors hit 65 home runs. Grace Littlefield hit 39 home runs. Caleb Fairfall hit 31 home runs. Maddie Riley hit 30 home runs. Micaiah Torres hit 25 home runs. Mason Evans hit 16 home runs. Sierra hit 14 home runs. Caleb hit 10 home runs. J.D. Boyd, yes, I did say J.D. Boyd. And I have to say this before I talk about her home run. It is the funniest thing ever. I mean, I can't help it. She's tiny. I mean, she's just not a big girl. Every game, the outfielders moved in. It was so funny. Did she hit a home run? Then they're standing back there, so did she hit in front of them? It was great. J.D. Boyd hit 7 home runs. Sarah Jones hit 6 home runs. Diana Clear hit 2 home runs. And Amy Wiggs hit 1. can say that. I mean, that's the type of team that I got the pleasure and the honor of coaching. I could tell you stories about this team for hours and hours. I'm not going to do that to you. I'm just going to make it real simple. This is other coach. I'm wearing glasses throughout this life. Yeah, that's not wearing glasses. I knew I'd get emotional. You know, we've done a lot of things. We went a lot of directions. I challenged them at the beginning of the year. We were the best fast-paced team in the state, hands down. We were primed and ready to win a state title. And we let things outside of softball derail us. And I challenged them. They won. They walked in the building. And I told them, day one, you have to decide. We're either going to be a team, we're going to be successful, we're going to stand behind each other, we're going to support each other, and we're going to go win a state title, or we're going to fall short again, and we're going to be the almost best team again. And I'm going to tell you what, day one, they bought in. It wasn't always pretty, but I guarantee you, it was a fun ride to be on. There's no doubt. I do have to say this. I told the girls today, I really needed a video camera. My wife was sitting directly behind the backstop behind home plate, and Christy Evans was sitting directly behind the backstop down the way a little bit. I do believe both of them felt like there was a door in the netting after the game was over, because I did not know which one of them was going to come over the top first. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. But that's the passion that my parents had this year, all of them. I have to say this, guys that showed up, I'll go hands down. We have the loudest, most obnoxious young man in the world. My favorite moment, Perkins jumps out on us a little bit. They got their little crowd over there, and they're all excited. Well, we jump back, and the next thing I hear is, we can't hear you. And then they didn't say very to you, and it was that way the whole time. It was probably the most exciting time that I've been around, and the support from the student body was absolutely incredible. The parents, I don't know, I don't know how you explain it. It was a really fun ride. I want to go ahead and bring our players up, and I'll kind of talk a little bit about them when they come up. First, I want to bring my two trainers up, Jordan White and Isaac Long. I'm not going to say a whole lot about Jordan. I will say this. Jordan cannot catch, Jordan cannot throw, and Jordan should not be allowed to hit. It could potentially derail his basketball program or possibilities forever. And on the other hand, this young man right here, I'll tell you straight up, I know Coach Nance puts his through the ringer and works him hard, but I'm going to tell you right now, you will not find a better trainer, a better young man, a better person, a better human being than this young man standing right here. All right, if my freshmen would come up, there are so many of you, so please make room. Somebody please hold Emma's hand. There is a step in front. Ms. Emma Pickering and Kirsten Kaiser. I'm just going to reiterate what has already been said about Kirsten, she's really slow. She had a really hard time running from base to base. No, I'm just playing. She was a big part of our early season success. She was one of our courtesy runners. Had a hard time deciding what no and go meant. That was my fault, so we had to come up with new words. Stop, don't go anywhere. Please tag up. I'm begging you, tag up. Those words usually work pretty well for her. Emma is, without a doubt, one of our bright and shining stars for the future. She's going to be a huge part of our future. We're going to look for her to fill some of the power role that we're losing. And we're excited to see where her future goes. All right, wow, I have a whole bunch of these juniors, come on up. Sophomores, sorry, you're at the wrong one. Sophomores, come up. Devin Fairpaw, Madison Riley, Grace Littlefield. This bunch right here, they carry a pretty big pop. All the way down the line. I made a comment earlier this season about Maddie Riley. She's not the best outfielder in the state of Oklahoma all game. She's just not. She's the best in the country. Hands down. I watched her make some plays that made me older than I already am. Gave me more gray hair than I already had, and frustrated me to the point that I wanted to scream and yell. But I wouldn't trade it for the effort and the work that she puts in every day. Grace Littlefield, I don't know. I don't even know where you go with this kid. 2 years ago, she came lumbering in the building with this look on her face like, what am I going to do to get on the field? I just got to get there. And she did every day, every second, tearing it up every day. Never been in the outfield in her life. We went to her and said, we got to have an outfielder. Coach, I'll do it. And she did. And she did it very, very well. Killed it in the weight room all off season. It's amazing, and I can't even tell you what her future holds. Smart kid, hard worker. Just like Riley, they're both going to go somewhere. They're going to play. They're great kids. KB, I have firmly believed that there's no doubt in my mind that pitching is in her DNA. One night, like I was telling the girls, we came home one night, Madison's like that. Now she's hard to hit. I don't know what she does that ball, but it's just not easy. And I think everybody we played felt the same way. Because we're talking to people that were putting home run up after home run after home run. They couldn't hit out the infield off KB. Did a great job for us. Great job. JD kind of got thrown for an interesting loop, as she always does. I think by the time her career is over, she will manage to play every position but catcher, because I just couldn't put her back there because I'm afraid she might break. The cool thing about JD is that, it's okay. That's all they say. Okay. Temptation doesn't always like it, but it's always okay. Whatever it takes to go. Great team player. Great team player. Another one of our big sticks, played some outfield for us, did a lot of pitch hitting, ran for us, did a lot of things. Another one that, wasn't always happy with her situation or maybe where she was playing, but came every day, gave us everything we needed. Probably had the biggest hit of the season. We're setting against Talcott the first time, and I'm already past heart attack. I'm well in the grave. Haley comes up, it's a 3-run shot, we win 31-29. You know, that's the kind of kid she is. State tournament, had a situation we felt like we need to bring in a pinch hitter. She steps in, gets a line drive base hit. I mean, that's just the type of kid she is. Looking for great things out there in fast pitch. Of course, she's our pitcher. But we appreciate having her around and what she brings to the team. All right, now, all my juniors. Haley Wiggs and Sierra Jones. Kind of had an interesting start to the season. Wiggs, I don't know, she did something in that other sport, we're not going to talk about it. Because he needs the coach, he might get mad if I said something, so we're not going to talk about it. She kind of sprained her shoulder early, couldn't throw, really couldn't do a whole lot. She kept fighting through it. When it came time when we needed her, she did a job. She played great second base towards the second half of the season, hit the ball well for us. Did a lot of things for us, and I know, having gone through the shoulder issue with Madison, it wasn't always pleasant, but she fought through it, and she did us a great job. Sierra Jones, she's played second base, shortstop, third base. I'm pretty sure she'd probably play outfield if we had to move her out there. She's never there. Shows up, she plays, she does what's asked of her. You know, she lives in that horrible situation that my daughter lives in. She's got a dad that coaches her. It's always tough. You gotta work hard every day. You don't get time off. It's, you know, Coach Neighbor's on me here, and I get to go home, Dad's back on me there. It's tough for kids like that. I guarantee you my kids have to grow up in it. I know. Sierra, I very rarely ever see Sierra without a smile on her face. When it is, it's usually scary, and that's a bad thing when she ain't smiling. So we like it a lot better when she's smiling. All right, my seniors. Cheyenne McCleary, Sarah Jones, Mason Evans, Makai Torres, and Madison Davis. This bunch right here, they've been pretty lazy for 4 years. They ain't done much. Just win a game or 5 or 2. Oh, thank you. Well, thank you. I want to say that, you know, sometimes the most important players you have may or may not be the biggest player on the field. And I'm just going to say this, and I know some people think I may be crazy, but I'm going to tell you this young lady right here, Cheyenne McCleary, without what she did for this team this year, we would not be state champions right now. Every moment when somebody was down, Cheyenne was the first one to pick them up. She was on everybody in the dugout every moment, get up, cheering, hollering. And you have no idea, there were times that we were on the brink. I mean, it's over, game's done. And Cheyenne starts screaming again. And here we go. And you know, if you don't think that's important, you've not been around the game, because it's immeasurable how important it was. Sarah Jones. Yeah, I'm not saying anymore because she waited 3 or 2 extra years to come back to me, so I just ain't gonna say no, I'm no way. You know, I wish she would have been out there the whole time. Didn't work out. She's a great track star, did great things in track, cheerleading, basketball. I was so happy when she came back. I'll say the same thing about her that others have said. Tougher than nails. Tougher than nails. Will run through a wall if she thinks she's going to have something good happen, or bad. I don't think it matters. She's just going to run through it. Started out playing, of course, in the outfield. Had a need for her behind the plate. seen Madison throw the ball. She throws it just a little bit hard. And I did fear for Sarah's life a few times, but it was crazy. She didn't blink. It was right there. She did her job. These next three probably gonna get a little emotional. I'm gonna try not to, but it's probably gonna happen. These are my three ends. They've been there since day one. All the good and all the bad. I don't even know what to say about them. I mean, there's so much to be said. The things that they have accomplished as a group. The foundation of what I've built on since I got here. The foundation that has been built for this program from now on, what's going to carry this program into the next generation. We've got 2 college commits here. We've got another one that she's well on her way. She's going to get it. We're just waiting for the right one. I mean, you know, if they'd been dudes, they'd call them the Bash Brothers or something. I'm just telling you, they knock the piss out of the ball every time they hit. They're all 3 mean or dirt. I'm telling you right now, they would take somebody out in a heartbeat. They play hard. It's been a pleasure to coach them. I will say that without any doubt. 4 years ago, I stood up here and I cried like a baby. And I made Coach T read my little poem. So 4 years later, I'm gonna let Coach T read it for you.
Softball paradise. Paradise is defined as any place of sweet bliss and delight and peace. But what is the true meaning of paradise? Paradise is truly the first crack of the bat, the smell of freshly cut grass on a hot August day, the laughs and giggles after an air, the wows and cheers after a great play, and the love and camaraderie of a team. But truly, for any old coach or a rookie, a senior or a freshman, paradise is just 60 feet away.
We got a few awards to get out here real quick. We had 3 all-conference players this year. Grace Littlefield, and okay, Micaiah, KB, and Chris. Micaiah, KB, and Chris. What? I think the coach Hicks grabbed the wrong ones. That's what the problem is. Okay, now. Okay. We also had the defensive player of the year, Maddie Riley. We also had 3 all-conference honorable mention, and that was Mason Evans, Sierra Jones, and J.D. William. And our conference MVP was Madison Neighbors. I know I took way too long, but I just a couple more things. On behalf of the Lady pony slow pitch softball team, we would like to present Kellyville, Oklahoma with a state championship trophy. Just one more real quick thing. We had a couple of fans that I have to mention. Mr. Tucker is definitely well known as our #1 fan. He travels all over the place following these kids during the summertime, follows them to games. And you know, he was in Colorado with us during the fall. He tracks around and follows us everywhere. He's a great gentleman, and you know, it's always, you just know, you just have to look for a minute, you're gonna find him. He's gonna be there somewhere. We picked up a couple of new people this year. I don't know where they came from. You know, I'm standing out in the grass, and this guy, I mean, I don't know who he is, walks up and says, "Boy, we like softball. We like softball." I said, "That's nice, thank you." And I'm like, I didn't know he was serious. Mr. and Ms. Schultz, great people. I mean, they were there. It was really, I mean, when I say it was overnight, I mean overnight. And they instantly became part of the team, part of the family. It was kind of weird. We had one game, like I said, at Union, and I'm looking around, they're not there, and it just wasn't right. It just was different. They weren't there. Because we always knew they were going to be there. And I'm going to tell you right now, I saw them walking up the sidewalk, the state tournament. I'm not making fun, so don't think it that way, but it is, I got to say it. Here we're all in our maroon shirts. And here they come walking up in their red shirts. She said, "We were getting a shirt, and that was the closest we were going to get, and by golly, we were getting them." And they did. And they have it, they're right there supporting us. So I'm going to say this so that we don't get off before you leave. You got away last night before we got to get a picture with you and our state trophy, and we would appreciate it. Before we leave tonight, we would love to get a picture with you. Parents, thank you. Thank you for letting me do what I did.
Thank you for all your support. The coaches are noisy out here. And thank you for all your support over the last 5 years. We've enjoyed doing it. We've got a new group stepping up, new coaches. So stick around and support them. But we're going to, our new coaches this year, give them a blanket. Coach Normer. I think this next one's got to be a blanket. Coach Todd. Well, so is the next one, Coach Rob. And Kobe. Okay, we'll call the seniors. If you guys can come up and just, there's so many in here, probably going to be stretched all the way across here, but come on up. Carson Bean. Jacob Cooper. Carson Brown. Jordan Buckley. Frank Cummington. Mason Evans. Bailey Gibson. Caleb Quinn. Jacob Peak. Annie Herrera. Hayden Hutchins. Brooklyn Joyce. Gavin Jones. Lucas Jones. Sarah Jones. David Cooper. Mason Marcus. Mark Marshall. Cheyenne Clary. Kevin McCleary. Madison Neighbors. Trevor Palmer. William Peterson. Michael Phillips. Dylan Perry. Blake Pierce. Grace Primore. Debbie Ricker. Clarissa Robb. Charlie Robinson. Timmy Rock. Ted Cook. Trevor Smith. Jared Thompson. Micaiah Torres. Jordan White. Sage Whitehead. And Jaden Wingo. If you asked for a DVD from the football or basketball banquet, I have them. If I don't have enough, I can put some more, but find me afterwards to the banquet. Let's give a round of applause for all of our.
Coach Upshaw was coming back up there.
Okay.